Hi and welcome back to the channel. Now in this video we're going to be taking a look at a load more vintage builders, stuff we're pulling down off the shelves and having a look at in a bit more detail. I'm currently going through the whole collection, so hopefully get a few more of these videos out. But I think a lot of stuff in here is going to be Buick based, but that's just because how they are stacked up at the moment. And then next to that's going to be a load of Pontiacs, so Pontiacs will be the sort of theme for the next channel, for the next video, so to speak. But yeah, as you'll notice, I've taken another long leave of absence from YouTube. I think it's been about 5 weeks since my last video. But I've just decided to really decrease my collection. I've been talking about it for years, and I've just started to really make some sort of headway on it now. But yeah, I'm just going through my whole private collection and stuff I've had for 20-25 years, some 10 years, but you know, some even newer like. But you know, it's just I'm not going to build everything, and though it's really nice to have this stuff and see it there and know it's there if I ever want to do anything with them. It's just really expensive wall art at the moment, so just decided to let somebody else enjoy a lot of this stuff. I'll keep the stuff which I think I've got a plan for, you know, which I think I'm going to build. You know, what I'm trying to do is get back to the reason why I started this channel in the first place, and that was to build. So, and I'm not doing a lot of that lately because, you know, I am selling a lot of my collection off. So I just want to get to a point where we're back to where we were when we first started, and that's a, you know, building old kits and building sort of stuff from my own history. But I want to thank everybody who's stuck around through that period, stuck around from the leave of absence. You know, I think I was away for a couple of weeks before that last video. But you know, I was halfway through the comments on that last video, and something happened, and I just sort of left them halfway through. So, and then I never came back to YouTube after that. I haven't been on YouTube at all. I've just been focusing on doing what I've had to do, to be quite honest with you. So, if you commented on the last video and I didn't reply, I know there was people like Kyle. You left another kind comment, and Gary, and you know, these are people that I you know, classify as my friends, and I do apologise for, you'll see in the last comment thread, for I started replying to stuff and then it just stops, unfortunately. So, but yeah, like I say, we'll be looking at a load more stuff. Sorry to ramble, but I did just want to put an apology out there that, you know, just life gets in the way, and I'm not going to go on about it anymore. Like, so. But yeah, I mean, there might be a few things in here which we've seen before, and I'll try and work through them as quick as I can. But yeah, there might be a couple of things which I've worked into other videos before, but you know, they would have been a long time ago. So if I include a couple of them, then it's going to be no big deal. Like, and I think one of them was in, you know, I can't remember when I showed this one, but you know, this is a pretty rare Joanne kit, 1959 Oldsmobile. I've always promised this particular one to Gary. I think he showed an interest in it. And as I've been working through collection, and you know, I've got other things similar to this, yeah, I think it's time to rehome some of these likes. And this is, it looks a bit rough, but it's actually a pretty nice builder, to be quite honest with you. There's a bit of trim damage here, which, you know, wouldn't take more than a strip of sheet, some evergreen strip to repair that. And it's got a very fine sort of fracture in the roof, but again, nothing for it will be an easy repair. I've got some spare headlamps, spare tail lights for this, so I'm going to include this. But yeah, I think this one's got the chewed up rear stock hubcaps. I don't know what we'll do about that, Gary. I've been meaning to drop you an email, but I think this one's going to be pretty much on the way to at some point. I know you just got moved into your new house and you're still sorting through your own stuff, but yeah, I mean, I thought I was saving one of these for to do the American graffiti, one of the cars outside Mel's driving. There was a 59 olds and it had dog dish hubcaps. I think it was like a mid-metallic blue, and I thought I'd do that or maybe build a taxi out of one of them. But as I've been going through the stuff, you know, I've got a million more projects that I wouldn't mind doing, and everything's going to be on the channels. What I'm building, if I'm not building anymore, then the channel won't exist. Like, so hence why I'm trying to just take a few months just to get myself sorted, just so, like I say, just so I can get back to the roots of what I actually intended to start the channel over. It's and then we will show obviously a few vintage kits in between, but I do want to get back to building. But I thought I'd just show this one. I bought a lot of sort of bodies and stuff from one of the chaps in our community, a chap called Steve, and let's say he's not frightened to cut into an old vintage kit or make banger races out of them. And so I did get a few bodies off them, and this is I think this is a 1960 olds. I was speaking to my friend Mike the other night about one or two things, and sent him a picture of this one, and this was one where, yeah, there's a lot of stuff which you probably couldn't do much with, but there's a lot of stuff which has potential as well. And you know, when I first got this one, I thought I could possibly do something with this myself. But Mike, he showed a bit of interest in it, so I think this one's going to Mike. In fact, I have delayed a package to him just so I can include this one in this video. But this is one that Steve's, like I say, it's pretty rare kit, is this Joanne 60 olds, and I think what Steve's done is like what Mike said when we're talking about this, is either grafted a resin 60 Impala roof or something like that. I mean, I was thinking it could even be off the Monogram Bad Actor, I'm not too sure, just with that recess in there. But you know, it needs a bit of refining. I think what I would do when I would probably, you know, the roof's pretty much there how you need it to be. Obviously it all needs stripping, but then I'd just go around, work each pillar at a time before I'm happy with the pillars, rather than take the whole roof off and sort of finesse it all around. But yeah, I think so when I bought it, when it came, I had a picture in my mind of it being white with chrome reverse wheels and a rake, and then Mike showed me a picture from the movie Hot Rod, and that's obviously where I was getting my inspiration from. But yeah, it would be a nice thing that with a bit of time. You know, it's nice. It's got both tail lights still in it. You know, it's got the stock front and rear bumpers on there. So, and I think this was what's left over of a 62 Bel Air chassis, and to be quite honest, that fits in quite well. And you know, I think Mike was saying, you know, pretty much like the 59 El Camino frame would work underneath there. But yeah, just really nice thing, that, to be quite a lot of potential, you know, in the right hands, so to speak. But there were a couple of other things that, you know, I got from, and I will include them in this video just because they're going to be probably, and I think these are the ones that I'm gonna keep, just because like, again, there's a lot of potential. Like say, Stevie doesn't mind making things into sort of banger races, and have a lot of these type of things raced on the tracks over here. And he started converting he converted this one into a hearse, and I think there is potential in this one. I think, you know, out of all of them, I wouldn't mind trying to, you know, see if we can rescue this one a little bit. You know, just see what we can do with it. It looks like back end's bent up a little bit for some reason, so we'll have to do a bit of archaeology with the paint stripper and see exactly what's going on underneath there. But again, the foundations for building an old hearse, because they were all coach built, quite elaborate. So I think that's one I wouldn't mind doing. I'll hang on to that one for now, just while I've got a bit of enthusiasm in my head about it. But this is another one he'd done. 68 Plymouth Fury. I mean, all this, I think we'd need to strip all this paint down again and see what we're working with. It looks like the back end of a 65 Chevelle roof's been put onto this one. Potentially, couldn't really tell. I mean, we kind of lost the panel lines and stuff, but the 68 Fury is probably one of my all-time favourite kits. That police car, so that'll be something nice to do. And I'll keep hold of that one. I'm hoping to get down to about 150 kits or something for myself, and even that's far too many for me to build in my lifetime. But it's a lot better than the number I've got at the moment. So excuse me. And we've got a couple of. We might have seen one of these. I think I showed one of these when I first bought it. We've got a couple of 59 Invictus. I think this is the one I showed on the channel when I first bought it. This is a hard top as opposed to the convertible. I think I sold one with I'm just not a massive fan of convertibles, to be quite honest. I'm more of a fan of the hard tops. I think I had one convertible and a couple of hard tops, and I knew I needed to get rid of one at the time, and so yeah, the convertible went, unfortunately. But yeah, these were nice things, and I think we've been into this before, but in the UK they came in these massive flat boxes under the name of Playcraft rather than AMC SMP. I think this one's got like I think this was one I bought since I started the channel, and got some really nice artwork of what the original builder was going to do with this one. I mean, there's a lot of work involved in that, but that's probably one which is going to stick around, just because I don't think anybody will appreciate that like I do. So it's just a box of bits to somebody, is that one. But yeah, they come in these big flat boxes, massive things. These I can never fit these anywhere. I got no space for them at all. They just don't go on the shelf anywhere at all. So I got a couple of them boxes, but yeah, they're nice things. Don't know if I'd ever build one stock. I'd kind of do it stock trim, but maybe with chrome reverse wheels on a bit of a rake. But yeah, I got a couple of them things, and they are nice things. I think these got that's a lot of these had stuff glued. Like this one's got some of the customizing parts glued to the grille, whereas this one, I think this was the best of the ones I've got. It's had the Continental kit glued on the back of there, and a few of the custom parts on body. On the stuff on the body don't really concern me, and I suppose years ago, stuff like that would kind of stall a build if you really wanted to do it, just because of the lack of decent chrome spray and stuff. But we've got all that stuff now, even for simpletons like me. You can use that Revel chrome spray and put it in dehydrator and never touch it again in your life, and it'll look great on model likes. But yeah, if I couldn't remember whether I showed both of these, but it's like there is a clear Buick theme in this, then I thought we'd include these ones. But yeah, no more convertible, and to be quite honest, there's a good chance that one of them coupes might go as well. But we're sort of leading on to I've got a lot of Rivieras, to be quite honest. I won't go into most of these in a lot of detail, but I think one of my favourite kits was the Riviera 63 and 64 were my favourite sort of years, and then 65 they got a little bit. They weren't as pretty looking, I didn't think, but yeah, this is just a real. I think this is a 64. This one. Dying to get some masking tape on that, and just peel all this paint off it. It's barely hanging on, but it's a really clean builder. Is this one? So yeah, I prefer the tail lights in these and the headlamps in the grille as opposed to the 65 where they pretty much deleted all that. But yeah, so I mean, tooling obviously started as 63, then went into 64 and ended at the 65. Hence why we have those. Like, I mean, the 63 was actually one of the first kits. It was one of the first annual kits I'd ever bought when I was about 15. And I built it. It came in the original box, and I think after I'd built the kit, I had a builder of a 63. I paired it up with the 63 box, and I've never found a 63 box since, or a 63 annual since, which has sort of been in my price range. That was one of my ones which I'd really like to get back at some point. But yeah, I built it, and then I haven't looked in this box for about 20 years. The reason I knew it is in this Chrysler, but I've got a couple of these on shelves, but I knew it was in this one because it has the little tears on the bottom here. This is originally, my dad had this Chrysler 300, and I built it in the end, but he always used to put masking tape around bottom of boxes, seal them up for some reason, so we couldn't look in them when we were kids. But yeah, I built it as a custom. I had it on, and this was like a new in-box kit when I bought it when I was 15, and I built it as a custom. I had it on chrome reverse wheels. I think I used monogram white wall tyres from the 59 Impala or something like that. But then one day I decided if I wanted to detail it and cut the hood out, cut the trunk out, and never got any further with it. I kind of wish I just left it as it was, to be quite honest with you, but I would like to do that one day. This was painted in the sort of Halfords what we've got over here. It's like a sort of motor parts kind of store, if you want to call it that. They did some custom bike paints for a very short period of time, and I remember painting it in that. Like, I mean, it wasn't too bad, I think I was 15 or 16 when I put this one together, because it was a pearl. Painted the hood differently. This is before I started working in a paint shop, so I think I would have been just like 15. So hood sort of was a bit of colour mismatch where I'd laid the paint a little bit differently, but it's been once since I stripped it. I started work on this one, and it's just been in a box, so all the chrome's really nice still. And I think what I'll end up doing with this one is I've always wanted to recreate a corgi set of a corgi. There's a blue corgi toy which had which sort of had working lights, which was is like a load of light tubes going into the headlamps, and it was just through light shining through a box in the top of the dash. And it was towing a big boat, which I've got the boat. I've got one of them Lindbergh boats. I think this will be turned into stock, and I'll make use to the fact that I've cut the trunk out, because I'd probably want to working lights into this one. So we'd put the battery pack in the trunk lid, and so it saves me cutting up another one, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I've had that for 30 years now. That particular kit. This one probably a little bit later, and then I think I have got the original 64. I think this is just started. Well, it's had the body painted. I think everything else is pretty much done. Just never got round to stripping that body, but that's a complete kit. I think most of the parts are still on sprue on this one. But yeah, that's a really nice sort of box art as well on the 64. Like I say, it's not the 63, which is the box I really want. But you know, I'm saying I really want. It'd be one of the few ones I'm keeping now because, like I say, a lot of this stuff's going. I will be keeping a lot of this Riviera stuff just because it's kind of one of my favourite kits. And I do, like I say, I do like the annual years leading up to 65. So yeah, again, nice box art on that one, and yeah, I think I've got. I think this is a 63 or a 64. It's just missing the bumpers. Tell it's 63 or 64 by the tail lights in the back panel. Yeah, I think it's got a Imperial Chrysler wheel from the 63 Imperial on there and a 65 Chevelle hubcap on there, and absolutely nothing on the side. But it's a good, decent body. Is that one? Then I think we've got for some reason the Rivieras I've got a few with a couple of missing hoods, and just I don't know what it is about them. I just lose hood. No, I don't lose hoods. So I just buy them without the hoods on. So, but yeah, I think this is another 64. Yeah, I think it's 64. I think these custom parts are more from the 64 than the 63. But yeah, it's another good body. Got a bit of a break to wind pillar there, but I suppose if you really wanted to, you can either repair it yourself or just use parts from the more common 65. But then yeah, I've got a few. I mean, I got a few of the original 65s. Oh wait, I think I really like this box art in the 65. You know, I've got a couple of these. I think that one's complete in box, and this one we got a built kit. But at round 2 did such a great job recreating this box art, so to speak. Took all the value out of these originals, but you know, to be quite honest, I really like the round 2 boxes, and yeah, I really don't care that. Yeah, I wish if they would re-release every vintage kit, take all the value out of them, then that'd work for me. Because to be quite honest with you, vintage kits over here are losing everything, all the value anyway, in my opinion. Like, they're certainly going down from what they used to be. But yeah, I mean, what we got from there, you know, like I say, I think from that's one of the 65s. I think that was one which was in that nicer box, and I bought that one. It was on eBay for a very long time, this thing, and I think the seller wanted too much at one point, and then he kept on decreasing the price to the point I actually put in an offer for it. But the reason being is, you know, it's a really nice built up of the Villa Riviera. I mean, it's straight from the box. It's an inaccurate version of that actual custom, but you know, it's close enough for you know, you to build something straight from the box. I mean, there's a lot of differences in that. In the actual custom, you need to peak the front end a lot more, and you need to extend the fenders, and I can't remember what tail lights they had on it. But yeah, the main reason I got this one was because it had the original display stand on it, and they're quite hard to come by, to be quite honest with you. I think even in that original unbuilt one, it's missing the display stand. So yeah, that's the reason why I got that. And to be quite honest, this is a really nice, clean, old vintage built up. Yeah, just painted in kind of rattle can, but that's the kind of thing you just wouldn't want to restore at all. You just want to leave that alone and Yeah, I mean, that's kind of one which I just don't know what I'd do with, to be quite fair. It's already there. I've got all missing bits, like I think, yeah, I've got them in the bag, in the box, so to speak. So, but yeah, I mean, I'd probably want to keep the display stand. But yeah, that's just a really nice version of the Villa Riviera. We've got similar ones built up like that, like, you know, this one as well. I think I've put in a few extra bumpers. This was built as the Villa Riviera, but in a different colour, so to speak. And I've had this one for donkey's years. I think I put it on eBay about, can't remember, about 12, 15 years ago. Starting bid of 15 quid and nobody wanted it. Or 12 quid, I think it was a tenner when I put it on. It didn't sell, and I thought, well, if I can't sell it for a tenner, then I might as well keep it. And here it is all this time later, like. And now it's because they're such a mass-produced kit, these, you know, never really been out of circulation, have they, the 65, but... And of course we got a load, I've got a couple of builds, I won't bore you too much with these, you know, we just got a 65 again with missing hood. That's quite a nice build to be quite fair. That would have been, if I had the hood for that, that would have been one which I could shove straight on eBay and not worry about it too much, but I haven't got the hood, and they don't really lend themselves to pro streets or anything where you could sort of build it without the hoods. Kind of a bit redundant without it. And then there's this one my friend Steve Crabtree gifted me quite some time ago now, so this is one which will never leave the collection. You know, if I'm going to build a custom one, I'm going to start with this as a base. Probably chop the roof on it. All the custom work which has been done on it's really nice, to be quite fair. It's all blended in really well, so there's a good starting base there, and we'll just need a bit of fettling. But yeah, I think a roof chop will be in order for this one, like. But yeah, so we've got stuff like that, and but it's quite a rare kit, to be quite fair. 66 Skylark, Buicks Skylark. This was original removable hood and what have you. But this is what AMT turned into the modified stockers. This is the tooling which sort of left and got all the wheel arches hacked out and what have you. But yeah, I'm like on the fence with this one, whether to keep it or not. Even though I've had a couple of these before over the years and sold them, and I think this is potentially one I bought and I sold, and then I bought back again quite a few years later, and I've just hung on to it because, to be quite honest, you just don't see these anywhere. But I mean, I think the good thing about them modified stocker series is that, you know, they still have all the bumpers in them, the stock bumpers. So if you found one of these originals without the wheel arches hacked out, you could get one of them modified stockers and use the bumpers straight off that. And to be fair, you could build a modified one of them stocker kits with, yeah, just generic parts, box bumpers, and not really worry about sort of taking these away from it. But yeah, they're great for restorations. The same as things like, you know, the original 65 Oldsmobile, which again was modified into those stocker kits. And yeah, if you ever have one of these and you're missing bumpers or anything, you know, you just poach them out of them. Them kits they're a great kit for restorations and what have you. But yeah, not too sure about this one. Lovely car. I just don't have a plan in my head for it, and that's how I'm kind of deciding what's staying and what's going. If I don't have a plan, or I can't see me building it as anything, then, you know, be it rare as it is, yeah, there's a good chance of this one sort of going on eBay, to be quite fair. And I'll be doing that with all of these, you know, just seeing what I've got a plan for, you know, things like what I've been gifted, they're not going to go anywhere. And they'll get a project kind of assigned to them if I can fit it in while I'm still on this earth. But yeah, but I think that'll make somebody happy, that one. Like I say, pretty rare kit is that, and really, really pretty looking car is that. So really like the rear end on that. Make a nice sort of period drag car or sort of street custom or something like that. You wouldn't want to do anything what removes any of this original trim, I don't think. Yeah, I think it's a bit too rare for that, to be quite honest. But you know, chances are what round two's doing at the moment, you know, if they could restore that body and sort of issue it as a craftsman's kit, good chance of that happening, to be fair. And by that point I'll be past me interest in it anyway. So yeah, we haven't got too many more. Got this, like I say, we're just showing Buicks with the exception of them first ones at the beginning. But yeah, I've got this 66 promo. And I don't mind buying these ropey promos, you know, just need a bit of re-chroming. This one's actually quite a nice one. And I know AMC have bought out, they sort of did a new tool in the 90s, didn't they? Which was a lovely kit, that I must admit, you know, it's a really nice kit, is that 66. But I will always prefer the originals. There's just something about the originals that I do prefer. It's like that 64 Chevelle, which AMC have just re-released or retooled for the Craftsman kit. I still prefer the original. I like the moulded in headlamp look. I know AMC went to a lot of trouble making sort of the headlamps separate on that, which is great for your more modern style builder or somebody who wants to build a real sort of really realistic looking, more realistic looking model. But for me, it's that kind of look which sort of draws me to them. And but yeah, I mean, I think this was a kit I bought quite a while ago now. Just started in box, I think. I don't think this is mint in box. I think it's just had the body painted and everything else is pretty much, again, pretty much new in box. But I always love this box art, side box art, and this kind of stuff, you know. I'm selling a lot of this old vintage box stuff. I've sold a lot of stuff which I thought I wouldn't sell. But I have to, like I say, I can't keep everything. So, but I do kind of like the 65, 66, this shape box. I've sold a few 65 annual kits. I've sold a couple of 65 annual box Corvettes and stuff like that lately, just to, you know, get me over that initial hurdle of deciding what's, you know, they're the easiest ones to let go of, and then I'll do another sweep and I'll see what other ones I want to get rid of, like. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we've really got much else to look. I've got this 62 Buick Electra convertible. Being convertible, it's quite a rare kit, because I don't think we saw the convertible after its original annual release. We've got the hardtop, which keeps on getting re-released every now and again. But you know, this isn't perfect. It's got a broken frame, but all the pieces are here and the brakes are really clean, but you could repair them. But stuff like this I couldn't really sell on eBay, because even though they really like the piece for the extra frame there is just in the back, and I'd either have to invest my time into repairing that frame, so it's kind of at the stage where somebody else can sort of take over and sort of build it. But yeah, by that time I don't want to be investing, you know, that'll be a couple of hours work making that frame right. You know, it's not a hard job, but it'll be long and tedious to do. And by the time I've invested an hour and a half into that, you know, it ain't worth me selling it. But, you know, I'll either sort of gift this to somebody or at some point, or I'll just keep it on the shelf and maybe do it myself one day. But yeah, like I say, it's the convertible, so it is a bit rarer than the hardtop we do see, like. But yeah, other than that, I think we're just going to wrap it up. Like I say, what I'm going to do with all this stuff now is I'm going to photograph it all, do about up to 24 pictures of each of them, just so I've got them there ready to. And I think once I've done that, then it makes it a lot easier for me just to go through my phone and colour a lot of it off. That's why I'm doing that, to be quite honest with you. And you know, there's things which will stay. You know, I'm kind of liking the look of that, the Villa Riviera now. So I've been looking at it more on through the camera, like, and the 64, 63. I mean, to be quite honest, a lot of the Rivieras are just not going to do, either not worth selling, or the, you know, the sort of annual years I do like, and I don't really want to start taking them apart, see which is the best ones. You know, it's just too much time invested. I've got a lot more stuff which I can easily just sell, as opposed to getting into them. So, but yeah, I mean, like I say, we're seeing a lot in this video, a lot of unusual stuff with some of Steve Darnell's conversions and what have you, and yeah, a few other bits and pieces, like, which you don't really see every now and again. But yeah, again, I think we'll just cut the video there. Like, again, thanks ever so much for all of you guys who have stuck around. You know, I did lose a few subs, but then I got a few subs back, and I've got about 4 more days to get all my shop cards out. So there are a few addresses I do quickly need to get hold of. So I might be emailing a few of you now, because, you know, like I say, after I left sort of YouTube all them weeks ago, I kind of haven't concentrated on any of that, unfortunately. I've just not had the headspace for it. So, but Mike, yeah, that'll be in the post tomorrow. Again, apologies, I did kind of put off sending your package out just so I could include. I just thought that was a nice one to show, like, and yeah, but all that stuff which we talked about, that's going in a box here. That'll be posted out tomorrow, and that one will be included. So yeah, so whatever you're doing all the rest of the year, thanks, a million thanks again. Hoping we can get this channel back on track, get myself back on track a little bit with life, and we can start moving on. But, you know, when I do take these absences, you know, I really do appreciate all of you for coming back and supporting the channel whenever you can. Like, it means well to me, and we can then get back into building and back to what the channel's meant for. So whatever you're doing for the rest of the weekend, have a great time, and we will see you in the next video. Okay, see you, bye.